Welcome to Football or Soccer, the podcast with me, Sam.
And me, Tony.
How are you?
Splendid.
Nice to have you here.
The Reds have won the league.
Yeah, West Ham won the league, yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
After the World Cup as well.
World Cup,
Yeah.
league,
World
champions, many times. We've won the league. I reckon we're the most team that has won the league for other clubs.
Shame you can't do it for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do it all the time.
Yeah.
Man United, we killed them years
Thank you
ago.
for your charity.
It's what we're there for,
Yeah.
to fuck the people up. Arsenal fans ain't taking it well, have they?
Especially
They really ain't taking
especially
it.
if it's Arsenal or Spurs.
I released a little clip on Instagram after the Arsenal game. We're up to 250,000 views on it now.
Yeah.
It's gone quite viral, that one.
Yeah. Well, it deserved to as well.
They are going mad. I was. Do you know what? I'm sitting there. If you have replied to it, honestly, I'll say thank you because it has really made my night. I laid in bed last night for about an hour, messaging people back.
Did you?
You ain't never won nothing. You ain't won a trophy. You ain't done this. And then you go, we actually won a trophy since you last won a trophy. More recently than you. And then this other Arsenal fan, a young guy, you've never beat anyone in a final. And I said, well, actually, our last FA Cup win was against you. People just, they got no idea of history.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's
Yeah.
Arsenal.
They are.
That's Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to say, and they've got to start looking at
They're
themselves
always
now.
they always catch the bouquet, but they never end up getting married.
Because I will say, Spurs get it hard from everyone about Spursy and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arsenal get away with it because no one has bottled the league more times than them.
No, I mean, I don't think they get away with it because of what Arsene Wenger did for them. But it's
they
not,
have
you
won
can't
trophies.
compare them to Spurs. You can't compare them to Spurs, but they're not. And listen. By the way, we've still got 11 games to go. I hope I don't regret saying this.
I'd love it. I'd fucking love it.
I'm sure you would. I hope I don't regret saying this, but they do seem to shit the bed every year, don't they?
Yeah, and it's now.
But listen,
it's battle for top four.
To be fair, though, you've got to be in the bed to shit it.
Without a doubt.
Most clubs are not in the bed.
No. Look, City haven't been this year. Chelsea haven't been. So you've look at, now it's a race for top four, it looks like, of who's going to come in now.
Well, maybe top five, isn't it? Maybe
top
I
five.
think we'll get top five, and the fifth will have to do a playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some teams that are around there at the minute. You've got, obviously, Arsenal, Forest, taking a bit of a dip now. Newcastle, Villa, Bournemouth, City, obviously.
Bournemouth are not.
You wouldn't
that
think.
would be outrageous.
You'd think City.
It would
City
be
would.
outrageous.
Yeah, but to be honest, City, they don't look good at the minute.
No, they'll
I couldn't have a firm banker to say these people will be in the top four this year. Arsenal, yes. Liverpool, yes.
City.
The other two,
I would go with City.
I would think. You would think.
I don't see a
They were
situation.
poor yesterday, though, weren't they?
You know what? We were saying that anybody who watched who's watched the live thing we did yesterday.
Oh yeah, if you haven't watched it, we done our first watch along live yesterday.
Yeah.
So if you go on our YouTube page and you click on live, you'll be able to watch the whole game with us. It was quite fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Actually, quite enjoyed it. Actually,
yeah, it was. It was good. But we were saying this yesterday about how poor City had been, and listen, they hadn't been great, but I think that's taken away from Liverpool. What they
Without
did,
doubt.
they got to a point where they're like, it's like, you know, if you put it into a boxing analogy, they were Floyd Mayweather. They got to the point where we're like, I'm winning this fight, and now all I need to do is just manage it.
That's what they've done.
That's exactly what Liverpool did.
Salah, I thought, we said it yesterday, I thought he was absolute. I actually think it was one of the best games I've ever seen from a player yesterday.
Salah.
In what he, like, I know.
I mean, he was super. Every time he got the ball,
Who was it who said it was like Messi-esque? I don't know if it was Carragher after, like what he'd seen.
Yeah, I think it was Messi and Ronaldo-esque.
It was
He
that
wasn't
kind
talking
of,
about that specific performance, though. He was talking about his whole season.
Yeah, but I think yesterday when you looked at him, what he'd done, it was just like...
he didn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, and it wasn't that he has to do loads. Like you don't have to do loads in the game. but everything he did was right.
Everything he did was right.
It was and like effective and dangerous.
Correct.
And all of those things, I think, for me, he's nailed on for Ballon d'Or. It'd be
think
hard
he's
to.
nailed on.
No. For me, I'm saying, if it was me, I had a vote. Obviously, I don't, but I would give it to him now.
Yeah.
Irregardless of titles.
who else?
Well, it's going to be the Madrid players. It's going to be Lamine Yamal. It's going to be
If they win
Barca.
the European Cup, if they don't win the European Cup,
It'll be Vinny.
then...
It'll be Mbappe. It'll be...
Yeah.
And people forget Mbappe didn't have a great start, but I bet you if Madrid won the European Cup, people would say it's Mbappe.
Yeah.
But they forget the start. Salah's done it every game. He's going to, I think, this year break goal involvements, which I think is Shearer at 47. He's at 41.
Yeah. And he's got 11 games to go.
He's got 11 games.
Yeah, which means he's probably going to hit 50 plus.
So you're talking about probably the best season ever from a forward player in the Premier League.
Amazing.
Which is incredible. And I will say, in not what I feel is the best team that even Liverpool's had. No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
even better that is.
The best team ever that Liverpool's had, or the best team in the last 5 years, or
in the best because I would say the Firmino, Mane, Salah team
when we won the European Cup,
was a better forward line, which then you would say would give Salah even better chance of winning that, of getting higher numbers. Because he's playing with even better players, for example, because he's putting them on.
You mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To do it now in this team, I'm not saying they're bad players at all, but doing it in this team, I think is even more spectacular.
I think it's spectacular, but listen, the players around them are
not rubbish.
Slouches.
No, exactly. I'm not saying it. Anyway,
they're superb.
We're moving on. We asked for question and answers, so people have got some question and answers. This one's come from my friend Chris, who's a big Villa fan. He's also the head of Stone Island in Harrods.
Okay, I know who this lad is.
So if you need Stone Island gear and you need a hookup, Chris is the man to go and see in Harrods. Honestly, actually, Chris got me this little shirt I'm wearing now.
I like that one.
A nice one, isn't it?
It's like it's not quite off-white. It's like
it's
like
baby
a
blue.
very light blue.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris got me this. I'm into my Stone Island at the minute, and he's the man for that. So Chris has asked, very on trend, thoughts on Villa this year?
Villa and Newcastle from last year, aren't they? I said this to you at the start of the season because you were big on Villa this year.
Yeah.
And
I really liked watching Villa as well.
And I mean, listen,
they were at the beginning of the season.
I think is superb.
At the beginning of the season, they were definitely my second team. Like I really enjoyed watching them. But that has tailored off.
Well, it has with the Champions League. It's like any club who have not. How long was it since Villa got promoted?
Not that long ago, to be honest.
4 years, I think.
Grealish was there, wasn't he?
So it was when Grealish, the year after Grealish signed for, the year before Grealish signed for City. Anyway, regardless of when that was, Villa, like any team who have never played the Champions League or even the UEFA Cup or Europa League, whatever it's called now,
it takes its toll. But let's remember, Villa, I believe, also finished above Arsenal in the Champions League table. They qualified outright.
But the Champions League table, I don't think was.
No. What I'm saying is they didn't go through the playoffs.
No,
They're not in the playoffs. They qualified, so they gave a really.
There was a point when Villa were first. Liverpool was second. I think for.
So they've done really well in the Champions. They haven't just shown up.
They've done amazing, but they also have a manager who knows his way around Europe.
Yep.
That Unai Emery you could blindfold him and he'll get you wins in Europe. But with Villa, I think it's just the Newcastle of
now.
Last
Perception
year.
is right. Villa have fallen off a bit, right? They're 8th at the moment.
Yeah,
they're 2 points off of City in 4th.
Exactly. Yeah.
But do you think so? Here's what I will say: Villa had a very productive January. They let John Duran go, which was could be a big loss.
That was a kick in the balls for them because they didn't really have a choice.
But then, so they got big money in for him, and then they've bought in Marlon, Rashford, and Asensio.
Yeah.
Now you look and go,
you'd take that, wouldn't you?
Well, we all would have said Rashford was ridiculous. like
No, but
a couple of weeks ago.
but you would still take it, like lose
So-
1, gain 3.
Yeah, and a couple of them on loan. I think all 3 are on loan.
I think they are. Yeah.
So
Asensio and Rashford definitely are.
yeah, I don't know about Marlon. Yeah, so they've gone there. 3 good players that have played at thingy. They just say they've all picked up points from straight away. Rashford 2 assists for Asensio this week.
Yep.
So you look and go, maybe they've now got that bit extra that have come in that's going to send them over the edge and maybe take them into the latter rounds of the Champions League or back to 4th. A bit of a refresh.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That was 3 big players. And you look at that and go, why has Arsenal not done that business? That was crying out to get you over the line.
Arsenal have. They've just made some bizarre
And
decisions.
I do get why maybe Rashford you didn't go for him because I wouldn't have touched him with a basketball. I
For
wouldn't.
Arsenal, no.
Hindsight now, listen, I'm not going to get up Rashford's arse yet because he's had 2 substitute appearances and cost a couple of balls. Like he looks a little bit. He looks better than he did at Man United because he was absolutely useless at Man United.
Well, he wasn't even playing. Was
So, yes, he's looked a bit better. But as I say, I think Villa could be the surprise shock that gets in that top 4.
I don't think that would be a shock. Do you?
Well, I suppose when you look at if they'd done it in the place of City or Chelsea or Newcastle, there's some big teams going for that spot.
Chelsea. So listen, you've obviously got Liverpool, Arsenal, definitely finishing in the top 4, no matter which final position. Then you've got
Forest.
another 2, potentially 3 teams, right? So
Let's just work it on 4 at the minute, like top 4.
let's say top 4 then. I'd be amazed if City don't finish there. I don't think Forest will finish there.
You think they'll peter out a little bit?
I hope they do,
Yeah.
but I don't think they will.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree.
I just don't think
They
have
seem
the
to, over the
quality.
last couple of weeks, they've just had their couple of bad results, haven't they?
Well,
They're letting in goals, aren't they?
They're really inconsistent.
Yeah, at this second they are.
But then also, so is City.
So's
is Villa.
Newcastle.
So's yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Chelsea ain't
Even
won a game
Arsenal.
in 5, I don't
Even
think.
Arsenal are inconsistent and very likely going to finish second, you know?
Yeah, so we will see. I think it's good. But anyway, I think Villa are looking very good. I really like your team. I think you've got some really, really good players. That's
Good club as well, Villa.
Good club, great support.
Yeah.
They do everything right, don't they, Villa?
They do. The only time I've ever
And they've got money, Villa.
The only time I've ever disliked Villa, I remember it, and it must have been, God, it must have been years, at least 10 years ago. Probably even longer than that, because I think I was living in England at the time. When the last game, I think it was the last game of the season, they were playing Newcastle at home. And I've always liked Newcastle.
Yeah.
Proper club. Same as Villa, same as Leeds, same as,
Yeah. Good support.
And Newcastle were getting relegated if Villa beat them. And the whole of Villa Park was singing going down. And I was like,
oh, no, I like that. That's good.
I don't know. It's the only time I've ever disliked Villa, but Villa are a proper football club.
Right, here we go. This is a good one. Most pointless Premier League team ever.
Arsenal.
Spurs. It's got to be.
I'm only joking. It's not Arsenal. Of course it isn't. Spurs, yeah. I think that's easy.
Everton.
No, because
Premier League.
No, because at least Everton give people value of they look like they're going to get relegated every year until they
West Ham.
by the skin of their nuts.
I think I've got to put West Ham in there, the most pointless team if I'm a neutral fan.
But
at least West Ham. No, so actually I'm gonna count it. At least West Ham go and get them results like yesterday that fuck everything up. So they get
But
them.
you know what though?
Do Spurs? What do Spurs bring?
I don't honestly. I don't know enough about Spurs to point out specific results.
So we got to pick one. So who is the most pointless Premier League team ever?
Right, hang on, let me think.
I think I'm going to go
Crystal
Spurs.
Palace.
That's a good shout.
Who fucking cares?
You know another one? Do you know what? Yeah, I'll take Spurs out of that as well because I'm doing that because I just hate Spurs. Fulham. Who cares? Like, exactly. Palace, Fulham.
But the thing is, Fulham have threatened the top 4 a couple of times.
No, they haven't.
They have.
No, not top 4. They haven't. Nowhere near.
Well,
top 10.
They've threatened European places, I suppose. But Crystal Palace have,
and they've had some good players at Palace as well. but just not like they're just happy with finishing 13th every year. The fans are not. The club is.
Yeah, but it's a small club.
Yeah.
It's a small Premier League club, should I say?
Palace. That's
Or
a
is
good
it
shout.
Premiership? Premier League or Premiership?
I've got this right now. Someone has answered it. Asked this question.
Go on.
Why does Sam call it the Premiership? It drives me mad.
Is it the Premier League?
Oh, at one point it was the Premiership.
No anymore.
Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
You are some prick. If you're worried about being, whether it's the Premiership, the EPL,
You know what
the
it
Premier
is?
League.
They're probably a Crystal Palace fan. They got nothing better to worry about.
These pricks yesterday were Arsenal fans. Young. It's the young generation, right?
Yeah.
So listen up, fellas, ladies, trannies, whatever you are these days. I don't know your group. It was called the Premiership before you was born.
Barclays.
Premiership.
Was Barclays the first?
Premier
contract?
League, Premiership.
Why did they change it from Premiership to
It was
Premier
the
League?
Carling Premiership, wasn't it? The Carling Premier League, the Barclays Premiership.
Honestly, don't know.
I think it was a Barclays Premiership. But who cares? Someone said, the Premiership is not rugby. But the amount of messages I get that says, when I call it the Premiership, going mad, is insane.
Well, good luck to you if that's all you got worried about.
Get
in
a
life.
life, you fucking losers.
Good luck to you.
Right. What should Jim Ratcliffe cut back on next? I'm going to say it looks... Do you know what it looks like to me, what he's cut back on? Soap. He always looks like he needs a good wash, the geezer.
He does.
His hair, doesn't he?
A good comb. He needs a good comb.
He's cut back on soap and combs.
You must know a couple of good barbers in London that you can put him in touch with.
Jim Ratcliffe, someone do us a favour and get him a comb up
He
to
does
Manchester.
Need a comb. He does.
His hair barnets all over the place,
Yeah.
but he looks like covered in grease, doesn't he? He
He
reminds me of like Steptoe.
Like a tall step toe.
Yeah,
a
like
step toe.
greasy old man that goes round
He's like a big lurch. Well, a big lurch. He's like a lurch, isn't he?
cutting back on food portions and
I read
It's
this
mad,
morning.
isn't it?
Did you read this? That they've cut the. Well, they've not cut it. They've toasted. No pun intended. The staff canteen at Old Trafford.
What do you reckon's going on here? Because
I think he because he's been involved in sports,
with Nice and-
before
yeah.
with Nice and is it the British? It's a cycling team.
yeah,
isn't it?
that's it.
So he obviously is the man's a fucking genius. Clearly, commercial
As a
genius.
businessman,
yeah. But I think like it's like when people say actors want to be singers and singers want to be actors. I think he is a genius commercial brain, but he always really wanted to be involved in sports.
Yeah,
And
now
so he's got all this money, more money than him and generations of his family will ever need. And he's saying, well, let's go in and let's try and make one of these things a
but
success.
you look right. So let's just say if you're a high, and I was thinking of this in the terms of the players at Man United because it's not going well there. Clearly, everything's going wrong. Yeah. They were useless against Everton again.
They were
this week.
lucky against them.
They were. Everton battered them.
Yeah. If Ashley Young wasn't such a fucking idiot, that would have been a penalty.
Yeah, and it should have been a penalty because VAR got it wrong again.
Well, I don't even, mate. I know
They didn't show the they said they
did
wouldn't
you see it though?
he did, but he
literally
still
went
pulled
like
his
this.
shirt.
No, he did. But what I'm saying is, Ashley Young, rather than winning that penalty, which is what he was trying to do,
He probably lost that
actually
penalty.
lost.
Yeah,
that
no,
penalty
I get it.
because it was a penalty, but it
But
was Ashley Young's
Going back
reaction.
to Ratcliffe, if you're a higher performing sports star, like you've just signed for Manchester United, right? And you're walking into a training ground, and then all of a sudden, well, we've cut the staff. You're hearing the staff going on. They've cut our canteen.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
lot
yeah.
get food. We don't. You now got smaller portions. That is not a high throw. Do you know? I actually thought about this. If I went to work at the agency, and Mauricio said, we can't do the good photography on this anymore.
Right.
You can't do this anymore.
We want to save a tenner.
cut the tea over there. That's
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
And I go,
Something.
I'm a fucking high performer.
Yeah,
This is
This
like
is-
I'll go somewhere else that can.
yeah.
And I think that's a terrible message. Because what I would also be thinking if I was a
It's just a
player
different brain.
is the club going skint? Are they going to be able to perform my wages? If they're cutting back on tea bags,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, look,
on
a grand scheme of
I get
things,
it.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's a different thought process, isn't it? And
It's an idiotic one.
It is for a sports team, but
that you're spending billions on players.
But what I'm saying is, what's made him successful in other aspects of his life is that thought process. You know, it is, and what he's
Nice have
trying
never
to-
been successful, have they? So
No, I mean like in with Ineos.
no, yeah, exactly with Ineos, yeah.
And
But maybe he's no good at sports teams.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's bringing the same mentality from basically it's a pharmaceuticals company, isn't it? Into
A high
sports
sports environment,
it's not this. It's a different
high performance
world.
environment.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon he's going to cut back on next?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm sure I'll.
It'll be
laugh at it.
pointless, yeah.
I'm sure I'll laugh.
What
at
he
it.
won't cut back on is the ridiculous wages being paid to players who are not worth it. That's clearly where everyone's going. But for me, he has ripped the heart and soul out of Manchester United.
I mean, he didn't
Very quickly.
It had already been done. He's
This sort of shit though wasn't being done.
no. But what I'm saying is, Manchester United have not been Manchester United for 10 years.
Yeah.
I've never even worried about Manchester United, whereas they terrorized my fucking
Do you know what's funny? The two most successful Manchester United managers goes back to a bit of what I've been harping on about. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ruud van Nistelrooy. Isn't it funny?
Ruud van Nistelrooy doesn't
No.
count.
But
Stop it.
the win rates were there.
Yeah, well,
Ruud did look the part at Manchester United. It suited him.
he's not.
It did suit him.
He's not doing too good at Leicester.
No, but they dog shit Leicester. It's like
so
they're
United though. United,
But he
are
had
dog
them
shit.
winning.
Mate, he took 4 games.
5 games, I think it was.
Five
Won 4 out
games.
of 5.
Who cares?
Amorim ain't won 4 in 15.
No, I know that, but I'm
telling you, Amorim's a clown.
I don't think so.
I actually think he is.
I listen. I hope I'm wrong with this, because the last thing I want to see is Man United being a threat again. But I think he's good.
Oh, here we go. Next one. Who would you like to come up from the Championship next year?
Leeds.
Yeah, I'm fully
Definitely
in
Leeds.
agreement that
Yeah.
Leeds. I hate Leeds not being.
Coventry are in with a shout, aren't they? With Big
Frank's
Frank.
doing all right. I'd love to see Millwall come up.
No, fuck off.
I will. My mate Sonny's a Millwall fan.
I know.
I'd like to see it for a year.
No.
West Ham, Millwall, Leeds,
They're a
Millwall,
dog-
Chelsea.
they're-
There's some dangerous games in there.
Yeah. That's not.
There's some dangerous games.
They're not. I mean, have Millwall ever been in the Premier League?
Never.
No.
They've got to the playoffs a couple of times and failed. But they are on a bit of a surge at the minute. They're playing well at the minute.
Who else is in with the shout down there?
Well, you got Sunderland.
Sunderland are a decent team as well.
Yeah, we got
Decent
Joe
club,
Bellingham.
I mean. Yeah.
You got Sheffield United. There's another pointless team. Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Up, down,
Yeah.
up, down,
Yeah.
up, down.
Yeah. Never really.
West
done
Brom's the
anything.
same, aren't they?
Yeah.
There. I'd really like Leeds to come up. I think I'm with you.
Leeds are
Big
the-
club.
Leeds, yeah.
It was like Forest. I always wanted Forest back, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
I hate shitty small clubs in the Premiership when them big ones.
Like Burnley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll even go as far to say it, and I do actually, and I apologise if you are a fan of these two teams, because I actually really love these two teams, but I would much rather see a Leeds in the Premiership than Brighton. They're a bigger club. You know, I don't mean that disrespectfully now, and Brentford, because they're tiny, they've got tiny fan bases. They've got Leeds, a mega fan base. Nottingham Forest, mega fan bases.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what? Even.
but I actually love Brentford and Brighton. They're two of my favourite teams
Yeah.
in the Premier League, but I'm just using them as an example.
Even I don't. It's obviously not on the cards right now, but I think Blackburn are a bigger club.
Yeah.
I think that they
Won the
should
league.
be in the fucking Premier League. They should be Blackburn. Tiny little guy. I
Sheffield
used to work
Wednesday.
in Blackburn.
Sheffield
quite a while.
Wednesday, massive club.
Sheffield, yeah.
So so that'd be all I'd like to come up from thing.
Same.
We got last couple here. What have we got here? Would a great British national team have won a major trophy, a combined British national team, since 1966?
When you say
England,
British,
Northern Ireland,
like what they
Scotland,
did in the Olympics.
Wales,
Yeah. Depends what era it is, doesn't it?
No, any era. Would one of them won a major trophy since 1966? Do you think we would have won a major trophy like World Cup or Euros had we had a complete?
So think because obviously we know all the strong England players, right? So think outside. You've got Wales. You've got Ryan Giggs, Ian Rush, Gareth Bale.
And then Rush's
Neville
time,
Southall.
you would have had Lineker. So it weren't like
They could have played together. I think.
that's what I mean. But I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't like Lineker was rubbish at the time.
No.
So
yeah.
I don't know, actually.
Who played up front with Lineker mostly? In like
Barnes,
no,
Beardsley.
Barnes was a left.
Beardsley.
But Beardsley was more of a
Yeah, but he would have. I think he would have
10.
played off him. I think it would have been
maybe
Lineker and Beardsley would
maybe.
have been the main.
I think they could have, but I mean, so we're obviously not classing the Republic of Ireland in this, right?
No,
It's
Northern
and
Ireland.
Scotland.
Which you would have had George Best at one point.
I mean, mate, we're forgetting Scotland. Souness, Dalglish, Hansen.
That would have probably been that actually is probably the
They
side
were 3 of the best players in Britain
in the
at
England
time.
time to put
Who
to
else?
put
Who else up there?
that up. That's a bit before my
Dennis
time.
Law was Scottish.
Yeah.
Um,
So that I think years ago, more probably less so in our generation. Because really
Yeah,
our
less
generation,
in
all
our
you're gonna add in
generation.
is
Bale,
Bale,
Giggs,
Giggs,
but who played? They both
Ramsey.
played in the same position. Ramsey maybe,
yeah, but not anything better than what we had.
I don't think so at the time.
And then anyone in Northern Ireland? No.
Mm,
Ireland, if you had Ireland, you would have Keane,
Oh, yeah.
obviously. Robbie
Yeah, yeah,
Keane as well.
yeah.
Scotland, Darren
Even
Fletcher.
Shea Given, by the way.
Yeah, Darren Fletcher would have been one of them players that would have played
Yeah,
in
I
in
don't think he
thingy,
would have
but
started though.
would he been over Lampard and
No. He wouldn't have even been over
Gerrard
Ramsey.
and
You'd have Ramsey over him if Ramsey was fit, which he
maybe?
never
My
was.
answer is I don't actually know.
I don't know either.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually going to say no. Right, last one before we wrap it up today. Oh no, we got 2 more. Are Arsenal full of excuses? They love an excuse, don't they?
love
The
an
weight of the
excuse.
ball.
What was the excuse last year? Because I know this year, like, they legitimately they've got injuries, but
Oh, but they're always having a go about
But
VAR.
what was it last year, though?
The weight of
was
the
it
ball.
VAR last year or something like that?
Oh, it's
'Cause I know
always
last
something.
year
Isn't
was
it?
a
It's
whole big
always
thing.
something. They love an excuse, don't
Yeah. As I said earlier, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, and
they? They are full of excuses, though, aren't they?
yeah.
You
I
never
mean,
used to hear Fergie having a go like with excuses, really, did you? I don't think so.
Absolutely. What do you? Fergie would lose a fucking 50-50 tackle with one of his players and cause murder in the press.
No, but he's not a whinger about the ball. Although he had the famous one with the grey kit when they got stuffed by Southampton, so they couldn't see because of the fans. It was blending, and they wore the different shirt second half, didn't they? Lost 6-3, didn't they?
Did they change the shirt?
Yeah, at half time. Yeah, that grey Man United.
So there
kit.
must have been the players who said we can't even see.
Yeah, and then they got battered 6-3 by
that.
Southampton at the Dell, didn't they?
No,
but yeah, I think Arsenal are full of
was-
excuses.
Listen, Fergie's probably the best British manager in the last, I would say, not ever, in the last 2.5, 3 decades. But he was a tart at some points.
Do you remember when he stopped speaking to the BBC?
Yeah, he kicked them out, didn't he?
He
Banned them.
refused. He never done the
banned them.
interview, did he?
No, he banned them
Quite
from
funny,
the thing.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
No,
But, like-
someone else had to always do the interview, didn't they? Someone else from Manchester United always done the interview.
With the BBC.
Yeah, because he had a row over. It was over nothing as
It
well.
was, fuck, this isn't
It
the
was over
90s.
nothing, wasn't
This
it?
is in the 90s, isn't it? Or early 2000s.
2000s it was.
But they asked him a question, I think, that he didn't like.
And that was it.
And
Done.
he was like, you're never coming in here again.
He
I'm never speaking to you
He never
again.
did he? He was fucking blind, really, isn't it?
Well,
Right,
listen,
last
he
one.
won, so who cares?
This is a good one, this is, because I can think of one straight away. Who is the worst celebrity fan of all time?
What do you mean by
Like a
celebrity
fan of a team,
Who's
a celebrity. Mine is Piers Morgan.
Oh, with Arsenal.
I find
Yeah.
this geezer is. Do you know, I saw him today. He's stuck up. I'm actually going to do a pet 8 on him tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
But he has his tongue so far up celebrities'
Oh,
arses.
with the thing that drives me crazy with him is the Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Oh my God, he's up to his neck now in Ronaldo's arsehole. And he's always puts the go, just because he'd done an interview with him, he loves to let everyone know.
And he's like, oh, every now and again he'll drop in. And I was messaging with Cristiano.
Oh no, like you shut up.
Yeah, that's a good
It's all right, mate. You've done a good interview. I get it. But he is repulsive.
By the way, as a football fan, I don't really give a shit. But as a journalist, he's actually very good.
Let me tell you. Yeah. I'm saying the way he goes about his business. Let me tell you, if you're over Arsenal in the Diamond Club, you will know what I mean, right?
What's the Diamond Club?
The Diamond Club is the fancy bit in Arsenal. Well, Piers Morgan has gone over there for the last 15 years, and he ain't never had a ticket. He goes on the ponce on someone's ticket every week. And if you're in the Diamond Club, you know I'm true. You know I'm true. Piers, it's about time you put your hand in your pocket, get your old mate to Ronaldo to buy you a ticket or something.
How much would that cost them?
I don't know. It's expensive over there.
Sounds like you haven't paid for one either.
No, I don't. I'm not Piers Morgan. No, but I'm not an Arsenal fan.
Exactly.
If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be in there. I think it's one of the best seats of football. Yeah, it has a heated seat. It's lovely. You get a little blanket.
It's actually one of the big stadiums I've never been to.
I actually really like it.
Do you like it? You've been to Spurs, right?
Spurs' best ground in one of the world.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah.
That's coming from me.
The new
I've not been to the Bernabeu, like the new Bernabeu, so I've got to see. I'll tell you who looks amazing. Everton's. Look, I saw videos of it this week. It looks really good. Looking forward to going to there. Actually, I used to like going to Goodham Park.
By the way, is amazing where they've got it.
Is it?
Yeah. So in Liverpool, you've essentially got the one train. Well, not the one train line, but that side of Liverpool. Right on the river, you've basically got one train line that goes all the way through from like Southport to all the way through Bootle, and all the way to the city centre. Apparently, the train station at Sand Hills is just not big enough.
Oh, really?
Because they did a test event.
They had an under 18 game in it last week, didn't they?
Under 18
Yeah.
game. Yeah, I think it was against Wigan. And they were like, there was only 10,000 people allowed in the stadium for the test event, but the train station was a nightmare. A nightmare. And I know exactly
There'll be things they need to iron out over the time, and they'll do stuff like they'll stagger the times and things like that.
Because you can't even really drive
where that
over
is
towards it. You've got a bit of a walk. The Titanic Hotel is over the road from it.
Oh, we stayed there.
The Titanic's amazing.
Do you remember when we stayed there?
No, we didn't stay there.
Me, Tarrant, and everyone. Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Me, Tarrant, and that stayed there.
When?
We all stayed there in 2006.
Right on the river.
Yes. I remember it was called the Titanic. Yeah. And when you go in there, it's got like portholes for like thingies. We stayed there, load of us.
I love it there. It's
me,
a
Tarrant,
really cool
Jas,
hotel.
Pete. There was loads of us. Nicky Dixon, there was loads of us that all stayed up there.
Wow. No. Yeah, I didn't stay there with you lot, but it's a really cool hotel. But you've got, it's funny, Dave, so obviously the Titanic's over the road from it. And then that area, it's called the Dock Road.
That's it.
It's full. I mean, when I was growing up there, it was full of like brass houses and shit.
Well, we stayed there.
And just absolute shithole pubs that have been there for like 150 years and have probably had a lick of paint once or twice. And
I've got to say, just wait, you stop.
Go on.
Petra sent me this morning, my wife, for anyone who don't know. She was doing a Q&A on Instagram, and someone put, your so-called hubby shagged my cousin and then shagged my auntie. So I woke up to that this morning. The brass bit just made me think of that. And she's like, she said, is this what you've been up to while you've been away? And she called me Shaggy the Bear.
Shaggy the Bear.
It just made me laugh just saying that. So, funny.
Wait, their auntie and their cousin? Is that what they said?
No, your husband shagged my cousin and then shagged my auntie. Yeah. So the cousin's mum. I've done the mum-daughter combo on it, apparently.
Listen, why,
these people on each, they're nuts.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm going to put it on, see if we've got any comments from Arsenal fans.
But going back really quickly to the Everton Stadium, you've got these pubs that, as I say, probably have 3 people in them a day for the last.
And now they're going to
20
be Ramo.
lottery. They've won the jackpot. Those places. You know.
Yeah, I suppose in the old places are going to lose out all that business over all them
over
years.
on County Road. Well,
People are still going.
but
How
that-
far is it from the old ground?
I mean, it's not. It's a 5-10 minute drive. It's not far.
But it's
You wouldn't
walk it.
You wouldn't walk it.
So you're not
But don't
going to walk down there and then go there. And
No, but don't forget.
some
though,
people will still go to them
They
old
will,
pubs,
yeah,
and
they
then come.
will
But
do.
a lot of
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
West Ham, the
But
bowling that you wouldn't go to it on a match day.
What they can't do is drive to because the parking's really limited in that part
Right.
of Liverpool. They can't. The taxis will have to drop them off half a mile away or whatever, and they'll just have to walk. Which part of the match day experience, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be a new match day experience. So people are going to, like, obviously Tottenham's, they built theirs right next door, so nothing changed.
nothing changed.
West Ham's changed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, West Ham's was
a
different part of
radical
London.
change. So it then you didn't go to old pubs. So it's going to be a little bit like that with Everton. Everton fans,
But
but
don't forget where Goodison Park is. Anfield's right next to it.
Yeah.
isn't it? So it's not like the whole area is going to become a ghost town because Anfield's still there.
yeah, I suppose they've still got Anfield,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
good. All right, we're wrapping it up there. We're going to go for a bit of breakfast,
Let's do it.
and we will see you all next week.
Thanks, folks.
See you later.
Up the Reds.